So we continue the conversation now with the impact of what's going on across global markets on emerging markets. So chief of which is Nigeria. The Central Bank of Nigeria putting out a notice on Friday stating that they had sold about $197.71 million into the FX markets in order to stabilize things. They put out a notice there with some of their concerns, citing some of these global tensions, geopolitical tensions rather. They also talked about the U.S. global tariffs, oil below Nigeria's benchmark, which we've already talked about. We have to continue that discussion, and also emerging markets vulnerabilities. Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu talks a lot about the central bank and banking in Nigeria. Joins us. Good morning, sir. Good to have you on the show.
How are you?
I'm fine. You're welcome.
I spent about 1 hour this morning between Bloomberg Television and CNBC.
Yeah.
And I was just, at the time I said, okay, let me just take a biro and start writing some things down.
Yeah.
And I started writing the words that were like, flying through. Words like plunge, route, throes of panic, beer market, rally evaporates, wiped out, stampede, market is convulsing, market of meltdown, oil has tanked, which is relevant to us.
Yes.
Slow economic growth inflation, China appeals for calm. China said the sky will not fall. Nothing will happen, sky will not fall.
Yeah.
Forecasters are racing to change their forecasts. And then another says apocalyptic. Apocalyptic.
Yeah.
And so you find that
scary headlines everywhere.
I guess CBN in their circular or their mail or push out mentioned that popular day, which was April 3rd, which Trump called the Liberation Day. The day he announced the new tariffs. Now I'm sure that he has spent a lot of this thing, explain to our viewers the implications of this for at least for our country. Basically, for Nigeria, for example, the principal things, about 90% of our export to U.S. is actually oil and oil-based commodities.
Right.
The other 5% are non-oil products, like urea, fertilizer, and so on and so forth. Or you will know the price already, know what's happening.
Yeah.
The price is tanking, as they say. So it's coming, I think, $63 dollars per barrel.
Yes, that's right.
From a high 80 that it was. And remember, this is a major source of foreign exchange earning.
Yeah.
And so Central Bank of Nigeria has to react to the external shocks to protect the Nigerian economy, at least on the immediacy.
Yeah.
The other thing that's happened also is that you could see throughout the whole world, whether it's Taiwan, whether it's China, whether it's Singapore, all the markets in the world, everything is, if you look at the boards this morning, everything is red down.
Yeah.
People are selling their stocks, and the people are moving towards safety. And the only thing remaining the safety is, the option that gilt-edged securities, basically treasury bills and similar products worldwide. And then that one of the things we thought about when we talk about foreign portfolio investors in Nigeria is, growing our reserves on that basis has its downside, which is basically that they are fickle. They are the first instance of insecurity in the economy. They just carry their briefcase and bail. And so I think also we're still noticing that Treasury still noticing that there were, the sales were happening by these foreign portfolio investors of their holdings in the country and trying to access the Naira market, dollar market in Nigeria to get their dollars out here. And of course, remember, the price of a commodity determines demand and supply.
Right.
So there was a lot of demand for the dollars. Of course, what naturally happened is the depreciation.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And CBN had to come in to come and stabilize the market. And that's why this part of this sale happens, to protect the currency against shock, and then try to meet commitments that already been made, and so that they hold it within that band. I think at the time the rates moved above 1,600 naira per dollar.
Yeah.
And sometimes that happens at sentiment level for the currency. So this is what's happening. And the central bank, you saw in that this mentioned April 3rd and April 4th. April 3rd was when this was announced, and the 4th was when the whole markets, the whole rap started. And then this morning, the Asian market opens first, which I think you did during your rundown. And then sales happening everywhere now. Everybody's selling, and there's a flight to safety. And for us in the country, what are the issues for us? oil is there, the prices are falling, and we don't know how far it's gonna go down. You already mentioned it. Our budget predicted on, I think, $65 per barrel. Now it's $63 per barrel. At 1.8 million barrels per day demand. We don't know what's going to happen to that. So that's going to put additional pressure on our currency and our earnings. And so it's a bigger thing. Now, the 5% of exports are non-oil exports. We'll go back to the old thing. As I said, if you pick the Nigerian economic plan from 1960 to now, road is always diversification of the economy away from oil. So everybody's saying this is an opportunity for Nigeria to diversify the oil from oil and then increase the value chain in Nigeria. And this is the song I'm singing since 1960. And it seems that nobody has been able to do this, despite all the best efforts. And so that's where Nigeria is, and we hope that it doesn't get worse than this. A lot of people have said that Trump normally gets the worst deal on the table initially, and so everybody is like fighting. Like now, apart from China, China even said we might negotiate down the line, but let the sky fall. Singapore people have sent Korea have sent delegation, their foreign affairs trade minister to head to US to go and negotiate, talk about it. European Union is playing a wedding game. So we hope that a blown out trade war does not, which doesn't pay anybody, any country. It doesn't happen. And of course, if it happens, the collateral damage will be
felt everywhere.
Everywhere, including countries like Nigeria.
Wow. So, okay, so in fact, Chika, does that now, I guess, bolster the point that the CBN was good to raise reserves, build the reserves over the time that it did for possibility of an external shock like this?
The beautiful thing about those who did the analysis of the world economy using the Trump coming into power. So what they expected something like, but not as bad as this. So I think it's coming handy. It's a wise decision for central bank. Remember we did this on this program. I think the net reserve is about $3 billion.
Right.
Yeah, still low, but commendable. More than about $4 billion that was 2023. So commend the Cardoso team for this. That are pushing that. So that is the right thing. I think it's the right moment for them to have done this. And we hope that the rain doesn't fall more, so that because our roof cannot take
so much pressure. In fact, that was my next question to you. If things do get worse,
they
might
so much pressure because there's no leakage now. We're hearing the rain dropping on the roof, but we don't know how long the roof will, how long the rain will hold. So we hope that will happen, and then, like every country will one way or the other adjust.
Everybody's been affected by this.
By this. So it's a one world. And when they say the world is global village, this is really the world is global village. And the initiator, the instigator,
he's one man.
He's one man, and he's having fun. But let's see. He's a politician at the end of the day.
Right.
And politicians worry about the next election.
Right.
The politicians worry about the people who put them into power. And so there's an element. The other thing I saw in the news was about U.S. citizens being warned about groceries. The price of groceries, clothes, food items, eggs, everything. And remember also that the Trump guy came in the distance that inflation was very high, that a lot of families are suffering, and he's going to go and reduce the price of groceries for them. Now the opposite is happening. So we hope that, the politician in him will also listen to his people. And then sanity will come back to the market.
We'll see how things go. Thank you for breaking things down for us. Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu. Thanks for your time.